Welcome to Grand Sumo Breakdown,
the unofficial sumo podcast
for official sumo fans.
Welcome to Grand Sumo Breakdown. This is Ryan.
This is Jake.
This is Flairk.
This is Mac.
And this is going to be another episode of everyone's favorite podcast of tabletop role-playing games, Dohyos and Deshis. You obviously have noticed that this is another episode, like our bonus episode that just came out the other day. Our audio isn't up to its normal standard because we are all sitting at home making sure not to get each other sick.
This time I have my cat in my lap and none of Jake's pets.
Well, there will always be at least one pet in one lap anytime we are doing this. That's usually the case. But yeah, for the foreseeable future, like we mentioned the other day, we will be recording remotely, and hopefully we will continue to improve our quality as that goes along. But for now, you're going to have to deal with it, because this episode will be funny either way. You guys ready to get it started off here? Anything else you wanted to add?
I think we're good.
Yep.
Cool. So let's do a quick recap of what we've done so far in Dohyos and Deshis. It all started back when rival Yokozuna, Akaguma, and Yaminoten both retired and started their own sumo stables and have become fairly successful as coaches. So Akaguma, the Red Bear, recruited 3 young folks who are now starting to kick some serious butt. We're going to do a quick reintroduction for each of the 3 of you guys. Mac, we're going to start with you. Why don't you tell us a little bit about your wrestler and about his now assigned Tsukebito, since he's a Sekitori.
All right, so Kawa is more of a technique and skill and spirit kind of guy. He is a little bit taller, not quite as heavy as their normal wrestlers find, but has excellent footwork and great ring sense. Pretty jovial, likes to pull pranks on people, loves to laugh, which is so against the rules for most sumo wrestlers, which is why not everybody likes him, but he doesn't care. He's just there for him. And his newly assigned Tsukebito, his name's Kasuto Duo. He is a fast-talking, wheeling and dealing type of Tsukebito who is riding on to Kawa's coattails as he is newly promoted. He himself, as in Kazuto, is similar to Kawa in that, slightly stalling as I pull up his stats, as he is also a skinnier type of wrestler, but relies on a lot of his ring sense and ability to get up under the mawashi or outmaneuver his opponents.
Oh yeah, that'll be Kawa's manservant, I believe, was the funny translation we've come across.
Yes.
But yeah, so now that Kawa is in Juryo, he's got a lower division manservant to help him around. Next, let's go to Ryan and Kuma no Yama.
Kuma no Yama is a bigger sumo wrestler. He was a high school bully, and instead of getting expelled from school, they enlisted him to join the sumo team, where they honed his technique and his fighting ability to stop fighting his fellow schoolmates and start fighting on the dohyo. Translated into him getting a Makusha Tsukedashi. So he is very new to the world of sumo, still getting used to it. He's a very kind of gruff personality, doesn't get along with a whole lot of people, with the exception of his Tsukebito, Wakakuma. He is a quiet guy, not because he is shy, just because he doesn't want to talk to you. But he does what he's told with a grunt of ascension, and he's also the best friend that Kuma no Yama has ever had. They often sit in silence together, and it's the moments they cherish the most.
Wakakuma, does that mean young bear?
Sure.
All right, it's canon now. Awesome.
Love it.
Eric, why don't you tell us a little bit about your guy, Goniku, to refresh everyone's memories?
All right. Go Niku. His name means strong meat. So he is someone who very much likes his food. He kind of family grew up in a restaurant, and he decided to join sumo. but he's kind of mostly been there just for the Chanko and sumo lifestyle. He's kind of a happy-go-lucky. He just really loves eating Chanko and like cooking all the day, and like they happen to do sumo, so he's kind of okay with that. He's a little lazy, but he diligently trains his stomach each day. But one day, like the Shisho, the kind of oyakata, saw him kick someone's butt after they insulted his cooking. And ever since then, oyakata has been like, this guy's got some skill. I'm not going to let up on you. And so he's been kind of making him train harder every single day since then. So, yeah, that's pretty much him. He's a big guy, and he's a big guy, and he likes his food. I have a Sukebito after our newly upgrade to rank of Juryo. His actual name's Akira Watanabe, but Goniku doesn't really care about that at all. He's just going to call him Taco-kun. Taco meaning octopus. Always having food on your mind. Taco-kun is very Genki, like he's very energetic and happy, and he's Goniku's biggest fan. And he's kind of a tall and skinny guy.
Sounds good. So our main three wrestlers here, again, we got Mac playing as Kawa, Ryan playing as Kumano-yama, and Fleric playing as Goniku. And as mentioned before, all three of these guys are in the same stable, run by a former Yokozuna, Akaguma. Last time we left off with Akaguma-beya here, we were dealing with the new responsibilities of being Sekitori. So we were having our kesho mawashis made, like the more elaborate ring aprons for the entrance ceremonies. We started signing Tagata autographs, our names out there on social media, all while trying to keep up on our training at the same time. There's a ton to do here, but fortunately there's still a month to go before the basho. You know, it's weeks away. Oh no, it's in a couple days. Oh God, Goniku, you're stepping onto the dohyo for your match right now.
What?
Time really flies, doesn't it?
It's my match. I start, I guess, getting ready. I go down for a tachi, and I just go. I go.
Your opponent is Furusei, which translates to old genius. He is a crafty trickster kind of guy. He's kind of small. His hair is actually graying, and it's very thoroughly taped. You can almost hear his joints creaking as he crouches into his stance.
Oh man.
So
okay.
I need you to pick a style of tachi, and this is on our reference document. We got that picture there so that we can all which moves counter which moves. Goniku, you can either do a powerful charge, a reserved charge, a surprise.
It's kind of not really a charge.
Tachi, how about that?
Yeah, the Enho Yutakeyama of tachi-eyes.
Yeah, then we got surprise, which is like either a jump or a slap or an elbow. And then there's also the full-on henka, the lateral charge.
All right.
Lateral. Yeah, you know what I'm talking about, damn it.
All right. Given Goniku just suddenly transported to the dohyo, you have to fight surprise with surprise. So I'm going to go with the surprise tachi.
Okay, so with your surprise charge, you are going to be able to roll 6 dice. And I suppose right now is as good a time as any to mention that the system we're using, the Road to Yokozuna Sumo Discord game, is kind of where we got the basics for what rules we're following and how we're determining who rolls how many dice. They have balanced the rules out a little bit more. It's a little bit more complicated than it used to be, but we're sticking with this older version of it because it's simpler and because we are just as in the characters as we are in the game. But if you're interested in playing this yourself, look up Road to Yokozuna. But Goniku, with your surprise tachi here, you're going to end up rolling 6 dice. So go ahead and roll your 6, and then I will tell you what happens with Furusei's counter charge here.
All right. 6d6.
6d10.
6d10.
There you go, perfect. You got a 28. So Furusei actually did a reserve charge, which is, unfortunately, the perfect counter to your surprise.
Oh, no.
So he got a 50. That's almost twice as much as you. He is going to move the offensive position. He is going to try to pull you down. So document, go check out the poll section, the third one there.
Okay.
And you get to pick a defensive technique to try and fend off the smaller wrestler.
All right. So is that any of the red ones or any of the blue ones?
The blue ones. You can either sidestep, momentum stop, or Tawara ballet.
All right. He's trying to pull me down.
He's
I
going
am
to
going to do,
Komi or something similar.
yeah. I am going to try to sidestep that.
All right. As you pull a sidestep, he went for the Tsukio Toshi, the thrust down. You actually picked the perfect counter to his move this time.
Yes.
I'm going to need you to roll 9 dice. 9 dice comes to 43. Because you got the counter, you get more dice. That means Furuse is only rolling 8. Let's see how this comes out. 4. It's an exact tie. I don't think we've ever had a tie. I'm not actually.
We have not.
Yeah. We can go with the more beautiful Rikshi of the two.
What Road to Yokozuna does, they usually call that a Tori Naoshi.
Okay. So you went for the Tsukio Toshi, you sidestep, and you both ended up stepping just outside the ring at the same time. They call a rematch. Let's go with that.
I'm going to take some time to reserve myself a little bit more. As I put some salt into the dohyo, I'm going to sprinkle it in, kind of like a soup, like a dish, like a chanko. And then I'm going to come out more centered this time and ready for my match.
All right, sounds good. What kind of tachi are you going to try for this time?
I am on to his reserved ways, and I'm going to do a powerful charge. Surely he won't try to trick me again.
He actually did go for the reserved again, so you nail it on the counter. You get to roll 10 dice because this is a bit more suited to your personal stats. So
that's awesome.
10 dice, you get a 51. It's a little bit below average for that many dice, but I'm pretty sure you're going to do okay because getting countered, he only gets 6. And that comes out to 27. So basically doubled up on him this time.
Oh, poor grandpa.
So that means that you get to move into the offensive position. You are going to either be in the grip position or the pushing position. The two.
We're going to keep up to pushing.
Gonna go for pushing? All right.
Yeah, we're getting some bread and butter oshidashi.
Gotcha. You'll go for the oshidashi, and he is going to try for the makikai technique. That actually ends up with no counters, meaning you get 7 dice and he gets 6. So why don't you go for your roll first here? Get a 49, and Furuse only gets a 35, meaning that you have won by oshidashi. He goes for the makikai. He tries to switch it back to a belt technique, and it doesn't end up working, and you send him to the ground off of the dohyo. You oshidashi'd pretty solid. That was an excellent win.
Yeah.
So, congratulations. You just beat up old man Arawashi.
I was going to say, how's his joints doing? How are his joints doing?
Oh, his joints, they're louder than they were before. He's not feeling So before we have Kawa's match coming up next against Takaradori, let's interview backstage. Your result in this particular basho, Goniku, you end up with a 9-6. I was basing that a little bit on the results of that match, since we're not going to do 15 matches every time we do a basho in this. But yeah, so with a 9-6 record, you got a kachikoshi in the first basho as a sekitori. So obviously they're going to want to backstage, right?
Obviously, yeah.
Obviously. So you go back and go backstage, and the interviewer says, "Koniku, congratulations. Tell us, how did you manage to get a kachikoshi in your very first tournament as a sekitori?"
Well, I'm not really sure myself. It feels like all the training just went by in a flash, and there I was at my first match. But I approached my sumo just like I approached my chanko. I started off chopping up his defense with my tachi, and then I used sliced up some veggies, some daikon. That was my oshidashi. I didn't add any cabbage this time because that's a belt technique. We don't do that here. And then I kept a nice, good simmer and got myself a 9-6.
Beautiful. Well, thank you very much. Thank you very much, Goniku. Enjoy the celebration.
Hi.
Right, so let's get back to the dohyo. As Kawa is stepping up, Mac, you are facing off against Takaradori, which translates roughly to treasure bird. You know that this guy's fairly skilled. He's not old like Furuse. He's in his prime basically. He gets a huge pop from the crowd when he stands up. He slyly adjusts his hair, gives a little wink to a girl in the second row on his way up the dohyo. He's a fairly large guy. He's primarily a grappler, is what you know about this guy. So you go through your routine, you throw your salt, and you're getting ready for the tachiai. Mac, what kind of tachiai is Kawa going to start off with here?
Well, in this case, knowing he's a little bit more of a grappler, I would be more inclined to go for the sidestep tachiai. Wrong one. Reserved. Reserved tachiai.
Reserved.
Lateral. Sorry, the lateral one. There we go.
Okay, yeah, you're going for the henka.
Pretty much. As the tricksters do.
As the tricksters do. All right, all four fists go down, and he had no idea that was coming. He's a bit too in his own head, fixing his hair and all that junk. But yeah, you countered him perfectly. He came in with the powerful charge, and you sidestepped him. It was excellent. So you are going to roll 10 dice for because this is basically the perfect one to make them make use of your skills. So Kawa, you go for the perfect counter. You go for the henka, and you get a pretty solid roll here. 61 on 10 d10s. That is a solid one. So the 6 d10s that Takaradori is rolling comes to a total of 35. So you get by far the best tachiai as he just careens right past you. And now you can move to an offensive position of pulling or try and get behind him for the rear technique.
We're going for the rear technique.
Sounds good. So you can go for the Okuri Dashi, the Okuri Hikiotoshi, or the Okuri Nage.
Kuridashi.
Dashi. Okay. He counters with the momentum stop to try and just stay in place, turn around, and face you. And against the Okuri Dashi, that is a neutral move. Nobody gets a counter bonus. But because this is a much better position for where your skills are at, you are going to roll 8 dice, and he rolls 6. So go ahead and roll those when you can, please.
Not good.
7. Oh, but he does even worse.
Oh.
Wow. So for a 6 d10 roll, an average roll would be 33, and he got only 22. That sucks. So he tries to stop in place, but you are just going nuts, doing the tsupari. He can't turn around in time, and you push him off of the dohyo, and he, maybe on purpose, goes a little bit too far into the crowd and ends up in the lap of that pretty girl he was winking at before. He doesn't really seem to mind all that much. So, Kawa, you end this tournament with a 9-6 as well. So you're going backstage. You're getting the same interview treatment. The exact same reporter comes up to you and asks the exact same question because that's kind of how these interviews go. But yeah, so he just asking you, how do you feel about this as your first tournament in the Sekitori ranks?
Well, I did my best. I just did my brand of sumo, and very pleased overall. Very, very pleased with how I performed.
Yes, thank you.
Thank you.
Your brand of sumo worked out very well.
I love how we're all just doing the out of breath thing.
Yeah. You started it, and it certainly works.
Yeah.
It's working.
All right, we got one more match here in the Juryo ranks for this day. We're going to go back to the Dohyo for Kumano-yama. And across from you on the Dohyo steps up the wrestler Kigokuro. This translates to Spirit, which is a completely fitting name because he has zero emotion on his face whatsoever. He's very rotund. He moves kind of slow. He does not appear to care that he's there. It's like the tiniest, most pathetic little salt throw that you've ever seen. And he just, no nonsense, just straight up goes there and puts his fist down. He's ready to go. So, Kumano-yama, what kind of tachi would you like to do?
Always go in powerful. Doesn't matter who the opponent is.
In this case, it works because he went in kind of reserved.
It sounded like it.
Yeah, I wasn't really subtle with that hint there, was I?
No.
So you come in with the powerful charge. With the counter bonus, you get 10 dice. You get 10 d10s, and he gets 6.
All right.
What a weird pattern that this always seems to happen.
Oh.
So 50 on 10 dice is not too bad. And as a counter, he rolls 35. So you are definitely moving into the offensive position, either gripping or pushing.
We're going to be pushing.
Okay, we're going for the Oshi style. Pick your offensive move, please. You get Oshidashi, Tsukidashi, or Hazuoshi.
Let's go with the Tsukidashi.
Dashi, you go for the thrusting. This time we end up neutral. He went for the defensive, so we just kind of got a slap fest going on. But because you have the better stats for it, you do end up with more dice. You are rolling 8, and he is rolling 6. Oyama rolls 8 dice and gets a 48. And, ooh, yikes. Kigokuro rolls 6 dice and only gets 26. You beat him by 22.
That slaps are way strong.
Nice.
So you Tsuki the hell out of him, and yeah, he just goes tumbling down to the side of the Dohyo, very calmly stands up, walks back onto the Dohyo, bows, and leaves. I mean, looks like he's just like getting trees. Like you can't tell anything about this guy. But you won by a much wider margin. You're going to have a final result of 11-4 for Kumano-yama.
What?
Hey, that's Juryo. That's pretty close to
Rigged.
Juryo Yusho range. Did I get Juryo Yusho?
No, but because they don't. No, somebody else got a 12-3. One of the guys from your rival Heya, Yaminoten-beya.
Yaminoten-beya.
They don't technically award Jun Yusho in Juryo, but you would have tied for it. So call it what you will.
I'll take it.
Take it. So you go back for your interview, and you get a completely different question from this interviewer. He's so blown away that he has a different question for you for once. He says, "Wow, Kumano-yama, very impressive performance in your first tournament as a Sekitori. How does that feel?"
I feel good.
Beautiful. Beautiful.
Did you take it one day at a time and do your brand of sumo?
Hi, my brand of sumo was very successful this basho. Hi.
You guys are so good at this. You must have. So a successful first tournament as Sekitori for you guys. Good use of your skills, good use of playing to your own strengths and all that. You guys have a big old party at Akaguma-beya because, as a whole, the Heya did excellent this time. You guys actually did so well that you have been invited, because you guys are kind of like the hot new thing in the Sekitori ranks.
Yeah, we are.
Invited onto a game show, the three of you. Yeah, so pack your stuff up here, and we're gonna go down to the TV studio, and you guys don't really know anything going in because it's all pretty short notice. But let's see what happens. Welcome back. This is Crazy Koichi here on everyone's favorite game show, Super Game Hilarious Fighting Wacky. It's better in the original Japanese, but like the translation is kind of clunky. Whatever. This is But yes, I'm Crazy Koichi, and I'm here with the hottest thing in sumo right now. I'm here with the 3 new Juryos from Akaguma-beya. And he just holds the microphone out in front of Ryan, just awkwardly, just silent, staring at you.
Hi. Thank
Hi,
you.
indeed. We're going to go through 3 rounds of Crazy Koichi's crazy, super hilarious, fighting wacky games. First up, we need 2 volunteers for Sumo of the Bubble. Who's going to step up to the plate here? All right, Kawa steps up. Who is going to face Kawa in Sumo of the Bubble? See, we have a volunteer in Goniku.
What?
You were too slow.
Not again.
So the stage opens up. The crowd goes nuts for everything Crazy Koichi says. Obviously, he's crazy, and he's Koichi. And this is super hilarious, fighting wacky. So the stage opens into a giant bowl. We're talking like 20, 30 feet across, and 2 giant hamster balls in the middle. They're just kind of like awkwardly shuffled along and shoved into the hamster balls. And this guy in a hilarious over-the-top Gyoji outfit goes, Hakioi! What we're going to do here is you guys are going to roll based on your stats. You're going to roll against each other to see how well you do in Sumo of the Bubble. I need you guys to each roll as many D10s as you have power. So for Kawa, that would be 4. For Goniku, that would be 5. We're going to see.
Let's go.
Kawa didn't do so good at 18. Goniku did a bit better at 25. So Goniku, you push Kawa right back to the edge of this giant bowl, but not quite out. So I need a round 2 roll from both of you. Kawa, go first. 30. Oh, that's a pretty good roll. Goniku only gets 25. Oh, now we're on the other.
No.
Kawa is almost hamster balling Goniku of the ring. All right, round 3. Round 3 coming up. Let's get Goniku first as the defender.
Oh
3, Kawa, can you beat it? 30.
no!
All right, Goniku, you get your hamster ball pushed out of the bowl. Crazy Koichi runs back in. He's like laughing and cheering, and they're singing Jesse's Girl in the background for some reason. Like everyone knows. Everyone is in on it except for you guys. Like this is like super routine for them. Obviously, when you win Sumo of the Bubble, you sing Jesse's Girl. So next we have Goniku and Kuma no Yama in the second of our crazy, hilarious fighting wacky games. This one is called Dancing Fire Hose. So I need you guys to do some rolls for a dance off. Round 1, just roll as many dice as you have footwork skill.
Luckily, I have Goniku went to the arcade and he has played a couple dancing rhythm games and has 5.
Kuma no Yama gets 17. It's 13. Oh no!
We're both so bad.
No, my hubris.
Wow.
Yeah, and you should have gotten an average roll of around 27, 28. Goniku got 15. That sucks.
All right, so Kuma no Yama, my dance style is like just slightly stepping to the side to the beat with my arms not higher than my head. Arms never go higher than the head. We're just kind of bobbing around.
The Ryan special then.
Exactly. Which is why my roll wasn't too good. Blair, tell me why your roll was even worse. What dance were you going for?
Well, you see, I was I don't know. Like I realized I was super confident in my dancing abilities due to going to arcades, but I realized I'm not that great unless I have arrows to tell me what to do. So I just kind
DDR
of froze.
fool. You DDR fool.
It just kind of like moved my arms a little bit, but not too well at all.
So round 1 goes to Kuma no Yama. However, the game is called Dancing Fire Hose. It's not just dancing, right? Round 2, they bring out the comical mini fire engine that's driven by a guy in a frog costume, and he sprays you guys both down with a fire hose of soapy water, and you have to dance again.
Of course.
Well,
Of course.
why not?
This time, roll footwork again, but also add that to your skill stat. So
No.
4 plus 3. For Goniku, that's a 5 plus 5. So roll that many dice each.
I should have played the powerful game.
Oh, this time around, it's Goniku on top. So round two evens it up. We're going to go for round 3, but you guys are still covered in soap. And the other fire truck driven by a guy in an otter costume comes out, because that's obviously what round 3 is. So this time there's no footwork involved. It's only going to be skill based. Sorry, skill and spirit based to just try and get up.
Yeah, it's even.
Oh, that's right. Okay, so skill and spirit makes it even at 8 dice each. Go ahead.
All right, let's go. Ooh.
Oh, much narrower. Kumano-yama gets the win. 52 to 41. So
Man.
Just kind of breakdancing there on the ground in the soapy water. We'll get down with Moses. Kumano-yama makes it back to his feet, which we all know is the definition of winning the dance competition.
Yes.
So the crowd is going absolutely nuts for Dancing Fire Hose. And Crazy Koichi comes out, and the crowd goes like completely silent, very, very somber. So in Sumo of the Bubble, we had a win by Kawa. And in Dancing Fire Hose, we had a win by Kumano-yama. I am sorry to tell everyone this, but we all know what that means. And then the crowd goes completely nuts out of nowhere. Fishing game Super Turtle! And yeah, sing it again. It's very, very confusing and overwhelming. But it's versus Kumano-yama. You guys are overwhelmed by assistants for the TV show coming out and dressing you up in turtle costumes. And then you're brought to a new arena that looks like a fish pond, and there's a bunch of people up on a wall with fishing poles that are at the end of the fishing pole are jelly donuts. So it's all about who can get the most jelly donuts as a turtle, because Japanese those are just the best. However, some of these jelly donuts are filled with ketchup instead of jelly donut.
Ew.
An improvement, some might say.
So
Not many.
You guys, as Crazy Koichi rings the giant oversized gong, obviously, you guys are running in. You're running in towards the jelly donuts, and I need each of you to roll a skill roll to see how well you can recognize ketchup donuts versus jelly donuts. Kumano-yama gets a 22. Kawa gets a 20. So Kumano-yama, that means that you get a bonus die on this last roll to see who gets the more donuts. It all comes down to a spirit roll between Kumano-yama and Kawa. Kumano-yama, you get a bonus die. So you're rolling 6, and Kawa, you're rolling 5 to see who takes the most donuts. 46 to 33, the win goes to Kumano-yama. Kumano-yama is the winner of Super Game Hilarious Fighting Wacky, and Crazy Koichi's going nuts. They switched to Don't Stop Believin'. Everyone's having a grand old time. And those guys that dressed you up as turtles, they come out and they tear off the turtle outfit, and everyone in the crowd comes down, and everyone is trying to mummify Kumano-yama with strips of kelp, as is the traditional finale to this game show.
I'm going to hold back from punching any of them in the face. I have a very awkward smile on my face, but it is very fake.
I'm having a grand old time. My guy is happy to be there and laughing.
Yeah, at this time, I think I'm into it. I'm just kind of clapping along and just cheering.
Oh, yeah. Dancing, laughing, eating as many of the donuts as I can find.
I was never into it, but much like Ryan, Kumano-yama will never not compete his hardest.
It doesn't matter if you're a turtle trying to eat jelly donuts. What you will.
Exactly.
So as the credits roll and the show fades out, Yami Noten, our rival Oyakata, and his brood of evil Sekitori are all watching this on television from their heya. And Yami Noten shakes his fist and he says, "It appears I've underestimated them." And that's where we're going to call it a session, right?
Oh, come on. The cliffhanger.
Right. So he saw us compete on a Japanese game show, and then he said, "It appears I've underestimated them." What?
Did you see how well I could tell jelly donuts from ketchup donuts, Flair?
That was pretty dang good.
That was pretty good.
I just don't see it how it relates to sumo at all.
Well, you have much to learn then.
Hi.
Well, yeah, let's wrap it up. That'll do it for this episode of Dohyos and Deshis. We'll be back soon because we're all home and bored, and we have plenty of time to write more Japanese game shows to participate in.
And fairly
Indeed.
positive our state is about to be put on lockdown, so
Yes.
even less things to do from our options of like one thing we could go out and do.
Yeah. Oh, man. Okay, Ryan, why don't you take us through our wrap-up deal?
All right, so if you enjoyed this podcast, you can leave us a 5-star review at Apple Podcasts or your favorite podcast listening service, which now includes Spotify.
You can find us on social media. We got Twitter, Facebook, and Instagram, Grand Sumo Breakdown.
SumoBreakdown.wordpress.com is our blog.
Have any questions, comments, or corrections, drop us a line at grandsumobreakdown@gmail.com or give us a call at 805-613-7866. That's 805-613-SUMO. Also, we would love it if you sent us some donuts.
Donuts are great. The last thing I wanted to announce, it'll probably be out there on Instagram and Facebook by the time that this episode is posted, but you can check out the Kesho Mawashi designs and the Tagatas for all three of these Akaguma-beya wrestlers. Goniku, Kumanoyama, and Kawa. We've got all the PR junk out there now, so that we're truly Sekitori now that we've got the PR junk handled. We'll see you soon, Ryan. What episodes do we have coming out next?
So coming up, we're going to have our Haru recap episode. We recorded this today on day 15, so we just need to get our final stuff in order, record that tomorrow, and then we will also have the Natsu Bansuke prediction. If Natsu actually happens, that remains to be seen. And then, I don't know, we'll figure out some other crap to record while we're all bored.
Thank you for listening to Grand Sumo Breakdown. Until next time,
Throw your salt high.
and keep moving forward.